everybody, this is Rashi and welcome to the Reading Platter. As you've all seen in the title, today I'm going to wrap up my August reading. So actually in August I decided to read 10 short books because I had my exams in August. I had my exams in May, then in June, then in July and then in August. Like they were postponing again and again and again, and at the end it was final that they were going to be in August on my birthday, especially the subject I do not like. So that was fine. That was fine. The paper was quite easy, and that's a different matter. So here I'm going to tell you now that out of those 10 books, I just read 7, out of which I guess 2 I didn't like, and I selected 5 books out of a series that I love, and I read 3 out of them. Actually, these 10 books I had already selected in May that I'll read them when I'll have my exams, so that I can keep on with my reading and also concentrate on my exams. But unfortunately, I could not complete all the 10 books. So here's the wrap up for the 7 books that I read. So in August, I decided to read first 5 books of the Goosebumps series. Goosebumps series is my most favorite series of all time, ever. I just love horror fiction, and this horror fiction is more of children's literature. Like it is children's literature, so I love it even more. Like it's not horror for me, it's like quite funny for me, which I enjoy a lot. There are horror elements, like there are very, so there are some elements in which you get thrilled or something, like there's suspicion and all that. I love that genre so much, I enjoy that genre so much. So I selected 5 books out of the Goosebumps series. Also, I selected 5 novellas, out of which one is The Little Prince by Anthony de Saint-Exupéry, yes, and Coraline by Neil Gaiman. Number 3, The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. Number 4, Kindred Spirits by Rainbow Rowell. Number 5, Why God is a Woman by Nin Andrews, sorry, and The 5 Goosebumps by R.L. Stine. So in this video, we are going to discuss the 7 books that I read, and the 3 books that I didn't read were number 4 and number 5 book in the Goosebumps series, and Why God is a Woman. First of all, I wanted to read Why God is a Woman because these are this book is a collection of poems, and this was my first book of poems that I would have read, but I didn't find it anywhere, and on Amazon it was asking for a very huge price, so I didn't buy it. The rest of the 2 books I have ebooks for them, but I didn't got a chance to read them. I will read them, of course. I have already read them when I was a kid, but I do not remember, like the stories are vague in my mind, so I don't remember the story that well, so I won't be reviewing it here right now. So let's start with the review. So number 1 book that I read was Welcome to the Dead House by R.L. Stine. This is the first book in the Goosebumps series, and it was like published in 90s something. This is super exciting book. Like the storyline is so good. This book follows the story of a family which is shifting to their new house in Dark Falls, which is gifted to them by some uncle who's died in their family. So now they're shifting there, but the house is haunted, and the children first of all didn't like that. The pet they had didn't like that, and I don't want to give a spoiler, but there is a little sad part in the story that I felt really sad about, and I think everyone will feel sad about that. I don't want to give any spoilers or something, but someone dies. And this is really good story, really captivating. I think I read that in like 1 or 2 days. Like, it is very short book, 170, less than 200 pages, like between 150 to 170 pages, and it is really exciting. The next book that I read was The Little Prince, and this is also a very cute book. It also contains illustrations, and this is a story about a little prince who wanders from planet to planet and place to place in search of some answers which he find adults are not good at answering. So he's in the search of his answers, and he lands on some planet, and the author meets him on that planet. It's a really true fictional story, and it is good. Like, I didn't like that so much. Like, I didn't get the idea about this story, but I like it. I think I rated it 4. And also I rated all the Goosebumps stories 5. The next book is The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. This is a really nice story. At first it was really boring, but when it started like developing, it was really interesting, and I loved the end though. The end was really good. I always will recommend this because of the end only. The story is about an old man who is unable to fish now. Like, he uh, is not getting anything when he's fishing, so everyone thinks that he is not good or cursed or something like that, and they do not fish with him. But there is a boy who fish with him. He's a little boy. He's not an adult or something, but the boy is always with the old man. He respects him so much, although his parents have said him not to be with the old man, or his fate will be bad and something like that. It was a really nice story. The next book that I read was Stay Out of the Basement, again by R.L. Stine. This is the second book in the Goosebumps series, and I loved it so much. This plot like started developing from the very beginning, and it is about a man who is a science freak and is working with plants. He develops a plant like who can be a human, and that's like the monster of the story. And I don't want to give any spoilers or something, so I'll stop it here, stop the review and the plot of the book over here only. And I will definitely recommend this. This is really good story. The next book I want to talk about is Coraline by Neil Gaiman. Yes, it is Coraline, not Caroline. So this book is a dark children's fantasy, and it was published in 2000s, I guess 2002 maybe. And this is a thriller, horror, you can say, children's fantasy. And this is perfect story. Like, I read it 2 times and I regret it because I had 2 more books to finish, and I read this book twice. So I was feeling kind of crazy, but I loved it that much. So I'll definitely recommend this. This is about a girl who shifts into a flat, and there is other flat to the other side, which is separated by a thin wall, and everyone can see the brick wall. Coraline also can see the brick wall, but when she's alone, she can pass through that, and there are no bricks or something. She can go through it into a new world with her new parents. So this is really really good story. So the next book is Kindred Spirits, and I will say that I didn't like this book that much. This is about a girl who loves Star Wars, and she is outside a theater to watch the movie, and she thinks that everyone will celebrate the upcoming movie, and there will be crowd and people shouting and playing games and etc, but there was no one. So this is a story. I don't know in which genre I'll fit this. I don't know that in this book there was only conversations and conversations which really didn't matter at all. There was no story. I think like this. I have heard that Rainbow Rowell writes really good books, and I have seen really good rating about him. But this was my first book by him, and I didn't like it that much. But yes, of course, I'll read more of his books to know how he writes and if I love him or not. So this was my August reading, and I think I did pretty well in spite of my exams. Like my exams were for 15 to 20 days, so I read it in 10 to 15 days. So I think I did good. Like, okay, I'm proud of myself, to be honest. So this was my August wrap up, and I promise in September I will read good books. And also, I want to tell you that I have three buddy reads in September, my first ever buddy reads, and this was not planned. Like, this came up only yesterday, or like you're watching it on 8th, so I think I took part in that on 5th or 6th. So those buddy reads are scheduled for September. So one is going on, and two are scheduled for later in September. So I'm really excited about it. Like I always wanted to do buddy reads. If you all want to do buddy reads, and if any of you want to do buddy reads with me, do comment down below. I will surely do a buddy reads with you on Goodreads or on Instagram. You can connect with me on Instagram too, and yeah, we'll enjoy that, and I'll see you in the next one.